The story starts at a hospital in Japan where a young boy is lying in a coma. The doctors have almost no hope that he will survive. His father, Yuichi, is heartbroken as he looks at his son. Someone had tried to kill the boy by throwing him off the roof of a building. A little later, Yuichi's father arrives at the hospital, and the two decide that they will find the person behind this and take revenge. At the same time, we meet a hitman named Ladybug. He is walking through the city while talking to his handler, Maria. She tells him that his job is simple. He has to get on a bullet train and steal a suitcase with a special sticker on the handle. The mission was supposed to be done by another assassin named Carver, but since Carver got sick, Ladybug has taken his place. Ladybug reaches the station, collects his gear, and gets on the bullet train. Around the same time, Yuichi receives a note from the person who attacked his son. The note tells him to come to the same train. He follows the instructions and finally finds the criminal. But he is shocked because it is just a young girl who looks completely harmless. Thinking he has the wrong person, Yuichi apologizes, but without warning, the girl attacks him and knocks him out. Her real name is Prince, and even though she looks sweet and innocent, she is actually a very dangerous criminal. Next, we meet two assassin brothers named Lemon and Tangerine. They are working for the world's most feared crime boss, White Death. He has given them two important jobs. First, they must safely bring back his son, and second, they have to recover a suitcase filled with millions of dollars. While this is happening, Ladybug easily finds the suitcase because Maria keeps giving him every detail over the phone. What he doesn't know is that the suitcase belongs to White Death. Soon, Lemon checks all the luggage and realizes the suitcase is missing. Even so, he stays calm because finding White Death's son is still their main job. As they walk, Tangerine tells Lemon how White Death became the most feared mafia boss. Long ago, a crime boss named MG controlled the Japanese underworld. A man from the Russian mafia slowly earned MG's trust and became his closest follower. Many people warned MG not to trust him, but he ignored them. That man was White Death. After building his own powerful gang, he attacked MG and killed him. From that day on, White Death became the most dangerous mafia boss in the world. Hearing this story reminds Lemon how scary the man they work for really is. The brothers continue searching, but when they return to their seats, they make a terrible discovery. White Death's son is dead, with blood coming out of his eyes, and the suitcase has disappeared too. In only a few minutes, they have lost both things they were supposed to protect. Later, Yuichi wakes up, and Prince tells him that she will have his son killed if he refuses to obey her. She had learned that Yuichi once delivered a suitcase for White Death, so she plans to use him to get close enough to kill White Death herself. She has already sent her men to the hospital, and they are waiting for her order to murder Yuichi's son. Yuichi has no choice but to do exactly what she says. Meanwhile, Ladybug is surprised that stealing the suitcase was so easy, but suddenly another assassin named Wolf blocks his path. Wolf believes Ladybug ruined his life. At Wolf's wedding, someone poisoned the food, killing his wife and all the guests. Wolf thinks Ladybug was responsible, so he attacks him without waiting for an explanation. The two fight hard, but in the end, Ladybug turns the fight around and accidentally kills Wolf with Wolf's own knife. At the same time, Lemon and Tangerine keep searching for the missing suitcase. Lemon starts checking every passenger near one of the train doors. Ladybug notices him and quickly tries to escape through another door, but the train doors close before he can get away. He quickly hides the suitcase under his seat and starts thinking of another plan. Just then, Tangerine walks into the luggage rack to hide. Tangerine notices someone up there but cannot see his face clearly. As Tangerine keeps searching, he comes across Prince and Yuichi. He shows Prince a picture and description of Ladybug, asking her to tell him if she sees that man. A little later, Lemon sits down to take a break, and Ladybug quietly sits across from him. Without making a scene, Ladybug points a gun at Lemon from under the table and offers him a deal. Ladybug told Lemon that if he gave the suitcase back, they should let him leave peacefully. But Lemon refused and said, "Even if you return the money, how are you going to bring White Death's son back to life? What am I supposed to tell my boss?" A fight started right away, but Ladybug knocked Lemon out with one punch. After that, he switched clothes with another passenger so Tangerine would have trouble finding him. At the same time, Prince and Yuichi found the hidden suitcase. Yuichi kept trying different codes until the lock finally opened, revealing stacks of cash inside. Prince didn't care about the money at all. Her real plan was to hide a bomb inside the suitcase so that White Death would be killed the moment he opened it. Soon after, Tangerine found Ladybug, and the two got into another hard fight. In the middle of it, Tangerine got a call from one of White Death's men, who warned him that if he and his brother didn't get off at the next station with the suitcase, they would both be in serious trouble. Tangerine became nervous because Lemon had disappeared. Ladybug then came up with an idea. Since White Death's men had never seen Lemon before, Ladybug offered to pretend to be him. Both of them got off the train carrying a fake suitcase that looked exactly like the real one. Everything was going fine until the suitcase suddenly popped open in front of the gang members because of Ladybug's bad luck. The trick failed, and the thugs realized they had been fooled. Before they could be caught, Ladybug and Tangerine quickly quickly ran back onto the train. Meanwhile, Lemon woke up and came across Prince and Yuichi. When he questioned them, Prince acted like an innocent girl, but she accidentally talked about the missing suitcase, even though Lemon had never mentioned it. That made Lemon suspicious right away. He pointed his gun at Yuichi and was about to shoot Prince too, but before he could do anything, he suddenly passed out. Earlier, Ladybug had secretly mixed sleeping powder into Lemon's water, and it finally started working. Prince used the chance to shoot Lemon and dragged his body into the bathroom to hide it. At the next stop, Ladybug told Tangerine where the real suitcase was and tried to leave the train. But Tangerine stopped him, saying he wasn't going anywhere until he handed over the suitcase himself. The two started fighting again, and Ladybug finally pushed Tangerine off the moving train. Even then, Tangerine refused to give up. He ran beside the train, grabbed onto the last coach, and smashed through a window to climb back inside. After that, Ladybug found Wolf's dead body and searched through his things. He learned that a woman named Hornet was the real killer behind the poisoning at Wolf's wedding. She was also the one who had murdered White Death's son. She had been moving around the train in a strange disguise the whole time, so nobody noticed her. Just then, Hornet attacked Ladybug. He fought back, and after a long struggle, he managed to stab her with her own poisoned needle. The poison quickly killed her. Meanwhile, Tangerine reached the bathroom and found what he believed was Lemon's dead body. He was heartbroken. He placed his own necklace on Lemon and promised to get revenge. Soon, Tangerine found Prince. She started crying and pretending to be a helpless girl again. For a moment, Tangerine believed her, but then he noticed a sticker on her back. It belonged to Lemon. He remembered that Lemon used those stickers as secret clues, so he understood that Prince was the real enemy. He raised his gun to kill her, but at that exact moment, Ladybug arrived. Since Ladybug still thought Prince was an innocent girl, he jumped in to protect her and started fighting Tangerine. During the struggle, a gun fired by accident, and Tangerine was killed. As the train got closer to the next station, Ladybug still had no idea who Prince really was, so he stayed by her side. Around the same time, Yuichi's father finally got onto the train while searching for his son. His eyesight was weak, but the moment he heard Prince speak, he recognized her voice. He walked over and sat with Ladybug and Prince. Then he calmly told Ladybug that Prince was the one who had pushed Yuichi's son off the rooftop. Prince didn't even try to deny it. She proudly admitted that she attacked the boy only because she needed Yuichi to get close to White Death. She even bragged that both Yuichi and his son were already as good as dead. But the old man didn't react at all. The old man calmly told Prince that his grandson was not someone she could kill so easily. While she was busy on the train, his own men had already found and killed all of her thugs at the hospital. The moment Prince heard this, she panicked and ran into another coach. After that, the old man told Ladybug about his past. Years ago, he had worked as the right-hand man of the crime boss MG. When White Death attacked their gang, he barely escaped alive. But when he reached home, he found that White Death's men had murdered his wife and burned down his house. The only person he could save was his young son, Yuichi. Since that day, he had spent his whole life waiting for the chance to get revenge on White Death. Now that chance had finally come. Ladybug understood his pain, shook his hand, and the two of them went to the bathroom. There they found that both Lemon and Yuichi were still alive. They had survived because they were wearing bulletproof vests. Lemon then saw Tangerine's dead body and was completely heartbroken. But Yuichi told him that this was not the time to cry. If the four of them didn't work together, none of them would make it out alive. Soon the train reached its final stop, where White Death and his armed men were waiting. Ladybug walked out first with a suitcase to distract everyone, but the gang quickly surrounded and captured him. At the same time, White Death entered the train and met Prince. It was finally revealed that Prince was actually White Death's daughter. He had always wanted a son, so he even gave his daughter the name Prince. Because of the way her father treated her, she hated him and had planned to kill him for a long time. White Death grabbed the gun from her, but that was exactly what Prince wanted. She had secretly changed the gun so it would fire backward instead of forward. However, White Death never pulled the trigger because he simply didn't care whether Prince lived or died. He then walked over to Ladybug and took the suitcase. Soon after, two of White Death's men opened the suitcase, not knowing Prince had hidden a bomb inside. The timer activated, and seconds later a huge explosion blasted through the train, throwing Ladybug. The train then sped out of control. Yuichi's father finally faced White Death in a one-on-one fight. Even after waiting for revenge for so many years, he was still losing the battle. Just before White Death could kill him, Yuichi rushed in and landed a powerful hit. The train jumped off the tracks and crashed in a massive wreck. Yuichi and his father managed to survive by holding tightly onto the seats, and somehow Ladybug survived too. Even after all the chaos, when the three of them climbed out of the wreckage, they were shocked to see White Death standing there alive once again. He aimed Prince's gun at them and pulled the trigger, but the gun fired backward just as Prince had planned. White Death was killed by his own daughter's trap. Everyone thought the nightmare was finally over, but Prince appeared once again. A speeding truck smashed straight into her and killed her instantly. In the end, Ladybug's boss, Maria, arrived to pick him up. His mission was finally over, and after everything he had gone through, he could finally relax. If you enjoyed this recap, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.